We acknowledge and respect the first humans of the unceded land we call San Francisco, the Ramaytush Ohlone. We condemn the genocide of these and other tribes across the Western Hemisphere. We honor their legacy and history, and we support rematriation and sovereignty efforts. Hi there. How you doing? Welcome to Storied San Francisco. I'm your host, Jeff Hunt. This is part 2 of our episode on Mother, San Francisco's newest LGBTQ bar. It's going to be on 16th Street in the old Esta Noche spot. And y'all, we have an opening date for you. Thursday, February 2nd. We continue our chat with Mother's owner, Malia Spaniel. Malia currently owns Thee Parkside, and the episode begins where we left off in part 1, with Malia sharing what it was like to go through the 2016 election and COVID. Here's Malia.
2016 election was very sad for me personally, as a woman, as a big fat dyke, as a human being. It made everyone really sad.
Did it make people drink more?
People always drink. Good times, bad times.
True. It's like
People
Mexican food.
Yeah. So, yeah, but COVID was
That's
big.
the real one.
That was a real one because we shut down, and I lost my mind. I'm like a border collie, and I have my routine, and I would do this, and I had this, and I had places to go and things to do, and all of a sudden I had nothing.
Right.
And plus panic, plus no concept of when or what, this, anything, nothing. So just swirling around.
I like to remind people, remember how at first they were like, it'll be 2 weeks.
It was
it's
not
so
2
cute.
weeks.
So cute.
Yeah. Shane lives upstairs.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant the hammerhead shark.
No. Shane lives upstairs.
Okay.
And he became like the center because he was always here. And then so I could swing by here and sneak in. I would make myself a cappuccino with whatever beans were left, and maybe come in and steal a Lone Star out of the cooler, and
I'm from Texas, by the way. Love the Lone Star.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
And hang out and on the patio where it was safe.
You had a patio. That's not every place had a patio.
But it's still covered, and we're still in panic mode, so it would still be far apart.
Right.
But we were all of us, all my staff, we were all stressed out.
Yeah.
And didn't know what to do. And we're losing our minds. And so we did a thing where someone we knew, staff, would design a shirt. Then we would have our staff member print it, because he screen printed things. And then we would all show up and print labels and ship them, and then have that money and then split that money. And then Vans
Sweet.
helped us out with the thing where we did some shoes, and then we got to have that, and we would show up and hang out because what else were we supposed to do? And Shane's always here. There's always going to be Shane.
Right.
And a cooler full of beer. But yeah, those were some really weird times.
Was the cafe, that was a product of COVID, right? It came out of the pandemic, did it?
The coffee bar, that was
the
there.
Window?
It was born in 2015.
Oh, okay.
So we just served coffee.
Yeah.
Because what happened was this was such a blue-collar town that we have a great happy hour, but then they got pushed out, but then the tech people came in, and so we started serving coffee so we could have, because why not? Because we need to survive, basically.
Right.
Let's pivot here and rethink this.
Yeah.
And serve coffee during the hours that we don't serve beer.
And so that's when you got the window?
Yeah. So
Okay.
we always had that window, but then we made it the window, and then when COVID happened, we especially made it a window.
Boom. It was already there.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah. So COVID was weird and hard and rough, and it made us miss all the things that we had.
Did you reopen and then shut down again?
I mean, several times, right? Did we? Yeah. You know, we were lucky because we were a restaurant, so we were able to remain open a lot longer, a lot sooner before the bars could open.
Right.
And so we just figured it out, and it was just a constant state of pivoting. You know,
Right.
what worked, what didn't work, how do we do this, and just it was stressful, but also we made it work.
Do you already feel like it was an experience that's just gonna make you smarter, stronger, better?
Absolutely.
Already? Okay, good.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't want to presume anything
Yeah.
because we're still in it.
Yeah.
We're still in it.
You know,
We're at a different point of still in it, but we're still in it.
and I feel like any good business owner is going to have to pivot at some point in their career. Like you can have a great formula, but things change. You know.
Neighborhoods change as we
Absolutely.
all know
There's a Whole
too
Foods
well.
down the street.
Did you? Yeah, I think I heard that.
Yeah. There's condos. I'm surrounded by condos right now.
When you mentioned a block off of Castro on Market, I was like, there probably weren't condos yet.
No.
It was.
No,
There were probably
no.
like
No.
buildings and Victorians and
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So COVID was rough. The gym shut down completely. We put everything in storage, left our spot because we deal in close contact, heavy breathing,
Sweating.
We had no idea
Yeah.
what we were in for.
Right.
But this stayed open as best as it could with as many of the staff members as we could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always think of, I mean, restaurants are one thing, but bars specifically I think of, and maybe this is just who I am, as like, you know, once they were able to open in whatever form, like that's what people needed, meeting places.
Yes.
Which a bar, that's really all a bar is.
Community.
Community. Yeah.
Yeah. And we had the park across the street. So we would put a DJ out there on Saturdays.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Face the speakers towards the park.
That's amazing.
You know? Yeah, have a party.
Okay, well, speaking of pivoting.
Yes.
Can we pivot to what you're up to now?
yes.
There's an elephant
Yes.
in the room.
Yes. So we lose this, right? We lose community. And it starts me thinking about community. And you know, because I have people coming up to me all the time like, I was at that show at Parkside, that was great.
I was at that show at Parkside.
Yeah, right?
I have that, absolutely.
Yeah, and you know, it's like you realize that you've created the space, and same with Pops. You know, like you get to be a part of these, and not like and not in the center. I'm on the outskirts. Like everything is swirling around, like all around. I'm just making the space for it. You know, and
You're the director of the movie.
exactly.
The conductor of the. Yeah.
And it started me just thinking about community and the community that I've had and sort of my path through everything and why I've chosen these jobs. Because there's some jobs that I just don't really have an appetite for, and I realize it's because I don't have the community. Like I was doing just anything that's not sort of people-facing. I just could not get into. And a friend of mine is this great photographer. Her name is Chloe Sherman. And she started posting pictures online of the pictures she's taken since the late 80s, early 90s, all the way on through.
Wow.
Of, you know, of queer San Francisco.
Queer
San Francisco,
of
yes.
the city, okay.
And so now we have this nostalgia because I'm seeing, you know, pictures of people and places, you know, from the 90s, and I realize how much we had. You know, sometimes it passes by so fast you don't realize. And God, Chloe, go look her up on Instagram. Chloe Sherman.
Is that how I see and
Yep.
how people? Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful photos. She had an art show, and got to see all. And so now I'm remembering the community I had.
And what drew you here?
Well, I was queer, and it was. This city was not safe, but this city was a haven in a way, and it was fun, and I had a chance to grow and experience.
I was gonna say nourishing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I started thinking about, I've always wondered, and it's been a project on the back burner for years, about all the lesbian bars in the city. And because I heard of this one on 15th and Potrero called A Little More. And I was like, I wonder how many there have been. And I've always wanted to research it. And I was talking with my girlfriend, and she was like, well, let's do this. Let's have this be a project. And so I started looking up all these bars, and what we're looking for is sort of logos and ephemera, and to create this T-shirt.
Okay.
And so started researching it, and I found like there's like 40 bars over time. There's over 40, and we're talking just from World War II.
Right.
It's not an extended period of time. And the thing is that it's really been hard to find like logos or anything, because if you were you were morally unfit to own a bar, you would have to have someone put the bar in their name.
Right.
If you were a woman, you couldn't bartend unless you owned it. And that was there on the books until like the 70s. You were threatened by the community, you were harassed by the cops, your customers and your clientele were probably scared or hiding or, concerned about being exposed.
Right.
It's not like you were handing out matches and had a big sign on the door. You weren't advertising anywhere. And
right.
so I'm trying to track down any sort of logo, iconography, ephemera, anything from these bars.
Because now you have knowledge.
This is just a little side project.
Right.
And because, we're thinking about community, and we're talking about, and I see Chloe's work, and I see how the Lexington played such a pivotal part in my upbringing.
Yeah.
And I knew about Amelia's, and I knew about Francine's, Paula's Clubhouse. This is like when I first started coming to San Francisco.
You know what this is all reminding me of? That as you kind of rattle these names off, before the gangway closed, this is where I saw it. At least it probably existed in some other places. They had a little flyer, and it was like all the gay bars. It might have just been gay. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't speak to it, but it was like it was a fucking archive, and I was looking at it, and of course now the gangway is gone, but I was just like, so much erasure.
So much. Do you know how gay the Mission was? Do you know how
I have an idea.
Like, okay.
but I wasn't here, so
I'm starting to do this research, and you're finding out a lot just from like oral history that has been transcribed, and I've been able to access, and someone mentions the bar, or one random newspaper article.
Yeah.
And so we're building this list and tracking down all these things and going to the archives and searching, old issues of the Bay Area Report, anything we can find, anything gay, which is so hard. But I found out that Amnesia used to be called the Ebb Tide, and it was a gay bar, a little women's bar.
Okay.
Amnesia on Valencia.
Yeah.
We had Amelia's, which was the Elbow Room. It's now Valencia Room.
Right.
Casanova used to be Sophia's, the first and maybe only women Latina bar.
Okay.
Esta Noche, the Rainbow Cattle Company, which is now Zeitgeist.
Okay.
What else? Oh, Paula's Clubhouse, which is Kilowatt.
So many places
the Lexington.
that are still bars.
Yes, they're bars.
That's interesting.
But
they're so not.
They're not for women.
Yeah.
For the gay women.
Right.
The queers.
Right.
So I really missed also 2016 elections.
Yeah.
Sort of started bringing back a lot of hate for my people.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm always I look like a dyke.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's always this hypervigilance when I go anywhere. And I get a little bit of a break in San Francisco.
Sure.
But I watch where I travel. You know, I mean, I'm always, you never know.
Right.
You always hyper vigilant. And so, you know, it's like remembering the 90s made me nostalgic for a little bit of time when I didn't have to be so vigilant.
Right.
Because we're all weirdos in this neighborhood, you know, and we outnumber everyone else.
Yeah.
But now that's not true.
Right.
Now I'm the weirdo and the outcast again.
And now Valencia Street is clean and has
like,
large sidewalks.
And don't look at me like that, motherfucker. This is my town.
Right.
I've been on this sidewalk longer than you.
For me, it's not only. It's not. I mean, also you've been here doing things for people. Yeah.
But so, you know, it's like I am very comfortable in any environment. But sometimes it's just exhausting.
Right.
You know, it's like I don't want to have to worry about going to the bathroom, getting a drink, having my girlfriend hit on, having uncomfortable conversations with people who can't wrap their head around me.
Right.
And so this sort of space that I missed, there was a lack and a need, I feel, at this time. You know, I've talked to a lot of young kids and like, oh, we don't need bars because we can meet like-minded people out there on the internet. We can go find the gay women's climbing group, and you know whatever they need, they can find a community that way. But I don't know. I feel like times are changing. We got to rally. We need a place. And so I called a realtor guy and I said, if you ever know of anything, let me know. And he brought me a few.
When was that?
This was literally months of this summer.
Oh shit, okay.
This summer.
I thought maybe you planted the seed.
No,
okay.
this is like...
You manifested the fuck out of that.
I mean, you know, community,
Boom.
Weird fucking election, increase in threatening things all over this country.
Right.
Reminiscing about the places we had and feeling pushed out of my own places.
Chloe's show.
And also the change in the mission and the feeling less welcome in my own town. And so, you know, he brought me a couple of spots and they weren't the right fit. And then he brought me this one and I was absolutely going to do my best to make this happen. He brought me a bar. It used to be called Esta Noche.
Yes.
And it's on 16th and Mission.
You can talk about the
Valencia.
history of that place if you'd like.
Esta Noche was created. It was opened in 1979 by a Latinx man who he was tired of going to the bars in the Castro. He's a gay man, tired of going to the gay bars in the Castro, and being asked for 2 forms of ID.
Castro,
or like,
I'll coin it here. Castro so white.
Yes, and he didn't feel at home.
Right.
And so he created Esta Noche.
Okay.
And
79.
1979 into 2014.
2014.
Yes. Yeah. So.
I used to live at 20th and Mission, and so I'd walk by. That was like my commute home because I get up at 16th Street Bar. It was probably always the favorite part of that 4-block commute was walking by Esta Noche around like 6 p.m.
Yes.
Every day. I was always
just
like,
starting to get
I'm not even
started.
gay, but I was just like, this is one of the reasons I moved here. I was like, this.
Yes. Yeah.
It's really sad to
Yeah.
see it close.
Yes. But I have this opportunity, and so I'm in the process right now of taking over and opening a sort of women's queer bar in the Mission. Yes. It's
What's the name?
Mother.
Okay.
Mother. I mean, I had Pops.
Yeah.
I am sort of a... It's misgendered if you know me, but I am taking care of a lot of...
I'm glad you know this about yourself, because I'm hearing your story and I'm like, yeah, you take care of.
Shane lives upstairs in the
yeah.
green room. You know,
Yep.
I feel very... I am taking in all the stray animals, all the strays. And just thought it was a good name.
It is a great name.
Yeah. And I'm, you know, it's scary. It's being pushed out of your comfort zone. It's...
Is it scarier than other things you've
Yes.
done? What can you speak to? Like, in what ways?
Because I don't like the spotlight. Because I don't want to be forward
Could have fooled
facing.
me.
I mean,
you're
you
so
know,
friendly. You're easy to talk to, which I like.
Sure, but
One-on-one?
yeah,
Is that it? Yeah,
that's
it's
great.
different,
But
it's
like,
different.
you know, sometimes like when I have a new bartender, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, that's Malia. She's the owner." I'm like, "Oh,
Shut up,
you're
yeah.
in trouble now." Shh.
Right.
I would rather be anonymous. I would rather just be the bar back. You know what I
Right,
mean? Like, just
right.
let me bar back.
Yeah.
Don't. So it feels more forward facing. It feels.
You're getting some attention for this.
Yeah, and it's definitely a don't fuck this up kind of moment.
Pressure. Yeah.
It's also scary in this time, in this era, in this, you know, attack anything kind of era. I mean, right now,
100%.
as we're speaking, all the drag shows are under attack this
100%.
weekend. You know,
Yep.
it's a reality, and I think we're, you know, we're maybe a little bit safer in the city, but it's still scary.
Every time I see a pickup truck, I'm like,
Oh no, they're just my customers.
there you go. I have to ask, have you heard about? So I don't know if you like sports, but have you heard about this woman, Jenny Nguyen, in Portland, who has opened the first women's sports bar?
Oh,
It's called the Sports Bra.
love it, love it.
I heard about it because my wife does a podcast, and she found out about Jenny and had Jenny on her show. And I was like, there's something, again, it's not sports, but there's something I love. I'm a cheerleader for the underdogs, always,
Yes.
always. And I love history. I hate all the erasure that has been... When we talk about gentrification, that's what we're talking about, displacement, erasure. I love any, like, effort contra that. And to me, that's what is happening up in Portland. And
hopefully here.
I think it's huge. And where the location...
Absolutely.
The general location, the specific location of the old Esta Noche.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a new environment. It's a new bar. I don't know where anything is. They've got a dishwasher. It's fancy. Like it's nice. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you staying on here?
I'm staying on here for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. We just need to, it's, you know, it was very well taken care of. The current owner is great.
Okay. I've never been.
And I love her staff. I'm keeping all the staff.
I heard that. Yes.
Yes. I mean, you
Respect
can't.
the work.
You know, yeah.
Bartenders.
Yeah.
Bar backs.
Absolutely.
Do they have a kitchen? I can't.
They don't have a kitchen.
Okay.
Thank God. I've got my hands
As
full.
I smell
I have my.
the amazing food coming from the Parkside.
Oh God, I think those are French fries. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to save my appetite. Otherwise, I'd be like stuffing my face right now.
Yeah, so it's a little intense.
Sorry,
But,
that dog. Yeah.
oh, that's
there you go.
Astro.
Okay. I had a feeling you might know who that is.
Yeah.
So cute.
It'll be an adventure. Yeah, but I love the opportunities that I had in the places and the bars that I've been able to experience, and it allowed me, like, some people don't understand how hyper vigilant you have to be if you are outwardly gay.
Right.
Sure, we have, musicians and movies and series, and every single character you have to have at least one gay person now, and it's great, and I love that. But it doesn't. You still have to be aware. You're still constantly getting all kinds of just weird and wrong interactions.
We're not there yet.
We're not.
We've made some progress, but we're not there.
And it's really nice to go to a bar where you don't have to worry. Yeah.
And that's the space you're creating.
Yeah. You're not worried about getting pushed out by the guy at the bar that is drunk and yelling and obnoxious and also 220 pounds and
drunk.
Yeah, and trying to pick up on everyone. Like, I just want to can I just have a drink and just be myself and relax? I like to relax and have a cocktail. Yeah.
It's fair to say that this bar is, and again, given your story and what you've been doing, what you've been experiencing, that it's an homage of sorts.
It's an homage. It's a collage. I think it's a collage.
Like that.
It's all the things that I appreciate in a bar. That's what I want to build. I want to continue all the things I believe in a bar, and to be able to try and make a new space and a new community.
That was Mother Bar owner Malia Spaniel. Next week on the podcast, meet Dante Ball, a born and raised San Franciscan who, like Malia, is about to open a new business. Gumbo Social will be on 3rd Street in the Bayview. Episode 10 drops next Tuesday, and we hope you'll join us for that. Music for Storied San Francisco was produced, performed, and curated by Otis McDonald. Michelle Kilfeather does original photography for us. Aaron Lim of Bitch Talk Podcast is our contributing producer. And the show is produced and hosted by me, Jeff Hunt. Now in our 5th season, we have more than 200 episodes available on our website, storiedsf.com, or wherever you listen to podcasts. If you're able to, please rate and review the show. And drop us a line at storiedsf@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Stay strong, weird, and healthy. And we'll see you next time on Storied San Francisco.
This podcast is a proud member of the BFF.FM podcast network. Learn more at podcasts.bff.fm.
BFF.FM, best frequencies forever.